welcome to this week's episode of Powerful Stuff. It's your host, Meredith Baker. I'm so excited to be here with you on this sunny LA Sunday. I've been just diving into this idea, this phrase that I love and that I've shared with some friends and that I've needed to remind myself of this week. Drum roll, what is it? Drum roll. It's trust only exists in times of uncertainty. Let me just say that again. Trust only exists in times of uncertainty. And what I mean by this is that if everything were certain and we knew everything was going to work out perfectly, we wouldn't need to have trust. We wouldn't need to have faith. We could just take things for granted. We could just show up knowing that it was all going to be okay and not feel like we had to do anything about it. But the fact of the matter is, when we are in this gray area or in this moment of deep surrender and we don't know how something's going to go out or pan out, when we hold the vision, when we keep holding the vision, and when we keep acting as if, and when we keep our intention like purely centered and at the center of our focal point, that is when the surrender can happen, and that is when the magic happens, and that is when life happens, like the good, the bad, the ugly, everything in between. But the point is that we trust ourselves that even if it doesn't turn out the way we wanted or hoped, that we've got us, that we can pick ourselves up and that we can move forward with grace, with ease, and with just full kind of holding an acceptance of ourself and what our inner child needs. And so I've been thinking about this a lot this week. Like, not only have I talked to a few friends who've gone through their own moments of surrender, whether it's, in the dating world where it's like, how will this thing pan out? It's hard to say, when you're just kind of putting out the best vibes. But of course, things are uncertain because who knows if like the date that you're going to go on is going to turn into your person. It's been also in like certain kind of like, job opportunities of like, I really want this particular position, but what if it doesn't work out? I've also seen it in health stuff this week, for myself, for others, of, holding the vision that this is probably nothing, and like really in that moment, making ourselves like return to gratitude of like health is wealth. It's like, I forget, I'm going to butcher the expression, but it's like you only kind of really, it's easy to kind of take health for granted until it's like something that's not going right. Like, we don't even think about it when it's going well. But then when it's not going well, all of a sudden it's like the most important thing in your world. And you realize how precious and valuable like life and health is. And so I was thinking about this phrase a lot this week in context of what it really does mean to surrender and to hold the trust. And as this woman, Rachel Bell, I took her coaching course for coaches to help me organize my thoughts to launch the upgrade 3 years ago. Shout out Rachel Bell. And she had this expression, high intention, low attachment, meaning like holding the intention of, the best outcome for the date, or the best outcome for the job, or the best outcome for the negotiations, or the best outcome for like the test results. But low attachment, like allowing yourself to act as if and come from that place of love, but having low attachment to if it actually pans out the exact way you think about it, right? So then it's this beautiful and very, not easy all the time dance between expectation and reality, and expectation and acceptance. And the only ways that we can get ourselves to enjoy and trust more is to also continue to deal with and release our anxiety around it, because our anxiety comes in when it's something that we can't control and we're envisioning the most horrible outcome. And it can kind of be the opposite of trust, and it can feel harder to control because it just switches into our like fight or flight or survival mode. And so I want to walk you guys through today a few just like exercises that we can do, all of us as a Powerful Stuff fam, to return to our center when these difficult situations arise where we really can't control it and we must surrender. Because otherwise, if we don't surrender, regardless of the outcome, right, we're going to be robbing ourselves of peace. It's like, let's say the outcome does go how you want, but then it's like, okay, well then I was spending 3 months like obsessing over what if it didn't go this way, and I wish I could have those 3 months back to enjoy it. Or even if it didn't go as you wanted, it's like, okay, well there would have been no use in worrying about it. I wish I conserved that energy to like fill my cup in other ways. So all of that's to say, guys, we're going to just go through it together. It's going to be a little powerful stuff therapy, if you will, for me, you, everyone in between. We're just going to relax into that gray area. Like it's a long, warm, luxurious bubble bath. And we're just going to breathe a sigh and we're going to lean into acceptance and trust. How does that sound? Good? I thought so too. So, first and foremost, um, when we think about trust and the uncertainty, as I like to do in many of my other powerful stuff episodes, I would say the first thing is just kind of getting out all of the fears that your anxiety is telling you, because anxiety is like your scared inner child and it just kind of needs to feel heard. So before we can move past it, we just want to like write it out. And it's not to say these things are going to happen if we vocalize them or write them on paper, but just imagine sitting your anxiety on your lap like a little child and being like, okay, what are you scared about? Tell me. And you just go ahead and write all the things your anxiety is telling you about the situation. What if they don't pick me? What if I feel rejected? What if this? What if that? Then what? And then what? And then what? And keep asking your inner child that as you write it down. And then what? And then what? And then what? And then once you have it written down, then we can kind of just have a moment of compassion. And Kristen Neff, who is the Brene Brown of self-compassion, has a brief exercise that we'll just do together now. I've done it before on powerful stuff, but you know what, guys? We can never do this exercise enough. So with whatever unease we're feeling about the situation, right? Maybe it's anxiety, maybe it's fear, maybe it's resentment, maybe it's a slew of different emotions. You're going to put your hands on your heart, take a deep breath in and exhale. And then the next breath is step 1 of breathing in. And as you exhale, saying, I'm experiencing a moment of blank. I'm experiencing a moment of anxiety or fear, anger, whatever it might be. And this first step is just identifying the emotion and letting yourself know it's okay. It's just passing through. It's not a part of you. The second step is to acknowledge your experience with the universal experience. So breathing in again and exhale, saying, everyone in the entire world experiences this emotion. Just reminding yourself that you're not alone. And then the third and deepest breath in, breathe in. And as you exhale, saying, I promise to be gentle with myself as I move through this emotion. Reminding yourself it's just passing through, recommitting to that self-compassion, giving yourself a sweet hug, and then taking one more breath in. And as you exhale, opening your eyes if they were closed. So we already did step 1, which was write down, what the anxiety was telling us. And then step 2 is, acknowledging all that we have to be grateful for already in the situation. And this is a step that I got from the book The Secret by Rhonda Byrne. She wrote The Secret as well, but she also wrote a book called The Magic, which is a 28-day gratitude practice. So you might write a few, try to get it to 10 things that you're grateful for in the situation already, no matter what. So let's say like it's about, is this person going to like me? Are we going to go on a 4th date or whatever it might be? You might write like, I'm grateful that I'm meeting people that I'm connecting with. I'm grateful that I've already had like a few great dates with this person and I've learned their story. I'm grateful that I'm getting to practice breaking old patterns in dating. I'm grateful that I have a support system of friends who, are there for me no matter what. I'm grateful that I've learned so much about myself since my last relationship. So whatever those 10 things might be, just like reminding yourself how grateful you are, regardless of how the situation unfolds, right? Whether you end up going on a 4th date with this person or not, regardless of how it unfolds, all the things that you're already grateful for in this situation. And if it's something, let's say with your health, it could be like, I'm grateful that I have a great support system. I'm grateful that I've been extremely healthy so far. I'm grateful that I have health insurance. I'm grateful that I have really nourishing foods to eat. I'm grateful that I know mindfulness techniques to bring me to center. So just take a few minutes, pause this recording as always, and write those 10 things that you're already grateful for, that no matter how the situation turns out, you are so grateful for what already has been and what already is. And that can start to soften us into the present moment. And then once we've really softened into the gratitude of what is and the lessons that we can already, um, you know, that we can already feel and taste and see, then you can go ahead and um, thank yourself for the magnificent outcome, or thank the universe for the magnificent outcome, which is also a magic practice of like, thank you for the magnificent outcome to this date. Thank you for, regardless of how it happens with this person, it's like they were meant to be a stepping stone in my life. I was meant to learn these things, whether they're my person or they're bringing me one step closer to my person. Thank you, thank you, thank you for the magnificent outcome to this. Whether it's your health, like thank you for the magnificent outcome to these results and this bringing me into greater health overall, no matter what, right? Like even if the results aren't what you wanted or hoped, trusting that it's part of the journey of you becoming your most healthy self ever. And so once you've given thanks for what was and you're giving thanks for the future, now I want you to write a letter to yourself, kind of like from your future self to your present self on the other side of the situation, letting your present self know that no matter what, you've got them. Like that all knowing, wise elder you, writing this letter of like, even if the worst thing were to happen, I'd still have you. I'd pick you up. I'd dust you off. We'd be stronger and wiser for it. It would suck. We would need to grieve, but we'd be okay. And, you know, also consider that the best thing might happen and that your heart might be ready to expand in this way. But either way, I'm going to be here for you. So you're kind of channeling the wisdom of your older self in this, and you are letting that present you know that it's going to be okay no matter what, even if it goes in the worst possible direction or even if it goes in the best possible direction. Your inner self, your all-knowing self has got you and they're not going anywhere. So take a moment to write that out as well. I know we have a lot of pause moments in this one, guys, because there's just so much to say, so much that is wanting to come through from our higher selves. And once you've gotten this letter done, I want you to like think of a mantra or a piece of wisdom from your older self, or maybe it's even a symbol. Maybe it's a symbol that when you see it, it's a reminder or it's a wink that you are on your path. I like to look for hearts in the sky, in the concrete, in sweat marks. Like that's just a little wink or a little reminder of like, I'm on my path, I'm doing okay. And figure out what that is for you. So whenever you see it around the situation, regardless of what is happening, you are able to trust and surrender. Okay. I thought that was going to be the last step, guys, but now that I'm thinking about it and now that we're just like chit-chatting up a storm, I just want you to write a few affirmations of like what you can control, right? Because there are things with all of these that are out of your control, like whether the person finds a romantic connection, whether they're ready to date, whatever these things might be, whether like the company that you wanted to work with is hiring right now, whether the you know thing that you wanted to go right, like is going to go right, like, so I want you to just kind of tap into that inner stoic version of you who knows what you can control. And I just want you to write a few affirmations of like, I can control my energy, I can control my ability to return to love, I can control relaxing into the deep presence of each moment and eating each moment where it's at. I can control showing up for myself and for my friends or family in this situation. So all the things that you can control, and soften into that. And then I want you to release all the things that are out of your control. I release how XYZ person feels about me or the situation. I release, how soon the company gets back to me about that hire. I release whatever it might be, but just all the things that are actually not in your control, that by holding on or being anxious about them, you're literally spiking up your cortisol levels, which, as we know, in various things like the body keeps score, it's just like the more we have our cortisol levels running on high, the more stressed we are, the more run down our immune systems are, like the more susceptible we are to feeling like weaker in these different ways. So the more we can return to what we can control and release what we can't control, we are also not only strengthening our trust, but literally strengthening our vital life force. And how powerful is that, guys? I mean, I am telling you all of these things, and I'm like, note to self, Meredith, we are doing all of these as soon as we get off. I was going to say, as soon as we get off the call with our listeners, as soon as we get off the pod. Okay, so once you have that with what you can control, I want you to go ahead and get ready for your meditation. So go ahead and take a deep breath in. Go ahead and reach your hands up as you breathe in. And as you exhale, bringing all that you can control down to your center. Second breath in, breathing in anything you can't control that's not in your control. And as you exhale, bring it to your center and then imagine sweeping it out to the side with both hands in either direction. And then third and deepest breath in. And as you exhale, softening into the space. And I want you to focus on your root in this meditation, this sense of safety. And this belief that we have us no matter what. And as you bring awareness to your root, imagine with each breath you're sending out this golden foundation around your root, allowing you to sit up taller, allowing you to soften even deeper into the earth. And just noticing as you think about this thing that you can't control, this situation, and you breathe in whatever remaining anxiety or angst or fear is left over, and just breathing it in. And as you exhale, imagine it leaving like white smoke through the top of your head. Taking a few more breaths like this. Any anxiety, anything that you can't control about the situation, acknowledging it and exhaling it, feeling it leave like white smoke through the top of your head. Another breath like this. And as you feel it leave like white smoke, feeling your foundation, that foundation of gold, soften even deeper, allowing you to anchor even deeper into who you are. As you feel serene, coming back to that energy of what you are grateful for in this situation, of all the things you've already learned from it, of all the ways it's already strengthened you. And feeling those start to coat your aura in this soft pink light, like the soft pink light of love. All that you already are grateful for. And as you feel it coating your aura in the soft pink love, allowing your consciousness, your being to drop deeper and deeper into this golden foundation. And as you're feeling the gratitude for what is, you're feeling soft about what you've released, what you can no longer control. And starting to feel into that version of you who knows you've got you no matter what. Who knows that this is nothing that you can't handle. The universe doesn't give you anything you can't handle, however challenging or unfair or scary it may seem. And just breathing into that, even if it feels a little scary, breathing into that, knowing that it's nothing that you can't handle. And if you imagine being strong for your younger self, your inner child, imagine breathing this golden and pink light around them, letting them know that no matter what happens, there's nothing you won't get through together. Yes, it might be hard or unexpected, but you're not going to go anywhere. And their safety and also their joy is your priority. So breathing in and asking them what they need from you to relax with you into this period of uncertainty so they can relax into trust with you. Imagine putting your hands on their shoulders, letting them know you can do that, and giving them a hug. Truly, in the way you hug them, letting them know that you're not letting go. You're here with them no matter what. And then as you're hugging them, you feel a larger force hugging you, enveloping both of you. The larger force as your all-knowing, omniscient being who's letting them and you know that they've got you in this warm, protective light. Feeling their presence, the presence of your all-knowing self, any angels, and just asking them for this deep mantra, this deep remembrance to echo through your bones, every cell of your blood, to return to, and feeling so safe in this embrace. Like regardless of what happens, you've got you, and feel this peace wash over you, feeling yourself soften even more, your jaw relax, untense, unclench. And as you relax even deeper, coming back to this reminder, trust only exists in times of uncertainty. Feeling the truth in that, knowing that you've got you. Taking a deep breath in. Exhale, open your eyes when you're ready, softly coming back into this space. Oh, guys, needed that. I hope that was, as I like to say, as powerful for you as it was for me. And a good reminder, slow down when you're feeling this anxiety around these uncertain things. Life is uncertain. It can be scary. It can be overwhelming. Don't try to always push through it. Acknowledge what's coming up. Let it speak. Return to the gratitude of the things you're already grateful for in this situation, and a way to think about that is like, not in a bad way, but like, how could it be even worse? Like, let's be grateful for all the things that are keeping it what it is, being grateful for all the things keeping us afloat or keeping the hope alive. Acknowledging the magnificent outcome for all that can happen, that letter to self, letting your current self know from your future self that you've got you, and then returning to what you can control, what you're releasing, and what that mantra is to guide you on your way. Guys, I'm feeling the trust. I'm feeling the relaxed trust with you. I hope you're feeling it too. I can't wait to do this again with you. And if you're listening this week and you want to come to our Powerful Stuff Best Morning Ever, we're starting up once a month for the summer season this Friday at 7:30, Venice Beach. Can't wait to see you there. And I'll see you next week for more powerful stuff. Hey, you. Thank you for coming on this powerful journey with me. I hope it was as powerful for you as it was for me. And if it was, it would mean the world to me if you rate, review, and subscribe to Powerful Stuff so I can keep bringing you the goods. We can keep going on this transformative journey together. And if there's powerful stuff that you want to share with me, with the Powerful Stuff community, tag us on Instagram at That's Powerful Stuff or The Meredith Baker. And I look forward to seeing you next week for more powerful stuff.